Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Wealth Stackers live community call. Today, I'm going to go over the state of the market. I'm going to go over some new updates and, just give you my overall thinking of what's happening this week and going forward in the rest of this year. So, if you have been watching, the prices have fell again today. The I guess the meeting didn't go well with the Fed chair, and people are scared because interest rates didn't go down. Um, so the prices are falling, and there's a lot of people that have very scary thoughts going on right now. There's people who think the bull run is over. There's people who think it's just getting started. This is why I try not to look and listen to much of the stuff that you see online because it's built to create FOMO, really, and to make you sell stuff at the worst possible time. And the real way all this works, if you research and look up all the content around investing, the best thing to do is dollar cost average because you have no idea what's happening. One day it would be like, oh my God, everything's going to zero, and another day it's like, oh my God, the price jumped 20% in a day. And nobody knows when those things are going to happen. Only the richest people in the world do because they make it happen. And they're in the game of getting richer. And the way they get richer is by taking your money. So what you have to do is you have to stay out of that game. You cannot outtrade BlackRock. So the only way you can be in the investment game is to dollar cost average consistently and let the market do whatever it's going to do. Stay in the game as long as possible. Take it, get as many assets as long as you can and as much money as you can and just take advantage of that. And then as the markets go down, make sure you're still dollar cost averaging because what I see ends up happening to a lot of people, and I saw it last bull run, I've seen it, for many years, is people tend to not buy when the prices are going down. They only buy when the prices are going up, which is not smart, I guess. Not financial advice. Right now, the prices have come down tremendously. They were at 126 a few weeks ago. Bitcoin was 126,000 a few weeks ago. Now it is 107,000, something like that. Last I checked, Ethereum was like $4,900 a couple weeks ago. Now it's $3,600. So these are big drops. And at the end of the day, with Stack, we're doing leverage, right? So what that means, just so people who are watching this understand, is with leverage, you're taking on more risk and more assets. So if you have a 3x leverage, let's say you have 3x leverage, that's what Stack does. We do 3.5x leverage. And the market goes up 10%, you can make 30% because you had 3.5, so 35%. But if the market comes down 10%, you can go down 35% as well, right? So what we do is we make sure the downs don't hurt as much because as soon as prices start falling, we start selling some to protect the fall. And then as the prices are going up, we're buying and then we're taking that profit. So right now, I just see this as an opportunity. And even if this is the end of the bull run, which who knows, nobody knows, you want to be buying while the prices are falling. That just makes more sense, right? Would you rather buy things at the highest price they are? Would you rather buy a car when it's the most expensive or when it's on sale? Would you rather buy the most expensive TV when they're just coming out and the most expensive, or would you rather buy it on sale? If you believe Bitcoin and Ethereum one day will be worth $1 million, if you believe Bitcoin and Ethereum will be worth $10,000 one day, today's a great day to buy it, right? Because you're gonna make more, you're gonna make money. And over time, you want to just keep dollar cost averaging. So that's the start. And the way I look at it is this market is just giving you more opportunities to buy Bitcoin before it reaches $1 million. And anybody in the community, you guys got any questions as I'm talking and going over things, you can jump right in. But today is another good day to buy. And what we see in the data is always more people buy when the prices are the highest. We had our highest amount of deposits when Bitcoin was $126,000. And it just never stops. And I'm like, I don't know how to fix it, but It is what it is. And of course, as the prices fall, we see crickets, and it is what it is there as well. But the overall idea is we need to start conditioning ourselves to dollar cost average over time because we can't time these markets. So another thing I want to go over is I've made a lot of updates to the classroom and the community. I've been showing because there's been a lot of people signing up and connecting their bank accounts, and there's a lot of banks. So I've been slowly putting in each bank how you can connect your bank account to that bank. And there's a lot of banks, so I'm going one by one. And I'm even creating videos of myself connecting each bank so people can see it as well. You can go to the classroom. It's in the start stacking section. Um, Ask any questions as you're in there as well, because that my goal is to create a path from understanding what Stack is to onboarding in as quick as possible. And right now, because of the way crypto is and the banks fighting crypto still, it's a little hard, right? Because they're making it difficult to move money back and forth, but a lot of things are changing. Stripe and the banks are now saying we are going to work with stable coins. So when that happens, that should mean you're going to be able to just send money from your bank account to your wallet very easily. We'll see how long that takes for them to get that in order, but we do have our partnership with Bridge, who was purchased by Stripe, to move money back and forth from your bank account. So we have more and more people doing that, which is awesome. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna go over, and again, stop me with any questions, anybody on the call. What's up, Michael? Hey, Charles. Um, so I had a call with a customer, one of our big customers this week, and she said something to me that was really, really game changing. She said, "Why don't you show our debt percentage? Because what I realized is you're lowering my debt percent." And I'm like, wow, I never thought about it like that. That's why it's awesome to talk to customers. And that is exactly what we're trying to do here, right? We're trying to set it up so you take a loan, just like a house, right? You buy a house, you put down 20%, the bank gives you 80%. Over time, you paying your mortgage every month, your debt percentage goes down to one day you own that house outright. With us and Stack, we're letting the volatility of the market do that. So when the market goes up, we take some of those profits and lower your debt percentage. And then over time, you get to choose if you want to take on more debt or not, borrow to spend, borrow to invest even more. So just off that call, I had a call with my designer right after and was like, I think I just unlocked the way people can fully understand what we're doing. So that idea came from, having conversations with customers, and I'm always up for that. But that was very, very game changing for me. At the end of the day, when you first start using Stack, you have about a 70% debt percent because if you bring in, let's say $300 and you borrow 700, your debt percent is 70%. But over time, I've seen customers get down to under 10% debt percent. And that's just letting it do its thing over a long period of time. Um, so that's amazing. Imagine bringing in, just to make the math easy, bringing in $300, borrowing 700. So now you got $1,000 wallet with a debt percentage of 70%. But then eventually you still have $1,000 wallet plus, and you only have a debt percentage of 10%. That means you own more percent of your wallet or your house, just like that works with banks and your home. So that has been a very good thing. And of course, I'm always looking for feedback like that. Another thing I've been doing, and the AI stuff is just getting so much better and better. So today I'm going to show you one of the things I vibe coded, a game I vibe coded. And why am I showing this? I think most of our customers are entrepreneurs and want to do things, and it's getting easier and easier. I haven't coded things myself in a long time, 5+ years at least, in a major way. I created something without writing a line of code that would have been difficult for me to code even when I was a full-time developer. And I'm kind of proud of it. So I'm going to show you guys right now what it is and how it works. And of course, how it ties back to me and the business of Stack. Because again, as an entrepreneur, we all know we got to pay our bills, right? So even my fun projects, I try to link them back to the things that pay my bills. So I will show you guys the game right now, and I'll tell you where you can play it if you want to play around with it and give me feedback. Okay, so if you go to bomb.game, which is a cool URL I bought for this game, bomb.game, you can start playing the game. And the way the game works is called Vampire Hunter style, I guess. I saw it in the vibe coding world and I was like, wow, this looks like a game I've always wanted to create. Let me try. So the way it works is we got a bomb and the bomb is shooting other bombs. And if these bombs get too close to you, of course, they blow up and start taking away your damage. But when you beat them, you power up your weaponry, right? So like right now you get to choose what type of upgrade do you want to take. If you press apply, it will automatically take the recommended um best thing to do. And of course, like I said, because I want everything to tie back to the business that actually makes me money, I have an advertisement for the business right here. If you click this, you go to our lead magnet and it will pop up every time you have an update for your weaponry. So this is a quick thing that I literally spent maybe 3, 4 nights, hour here, hour there, and I built this game using Cursor, and now Cursor is even easier. So why do I show this? Because any business, any idea that you have now, the ability to make it happen is getting easier and easier. So I part of what I want to do for this community is I want to challenge you to take on something that you've always wanted to do, and see if AI can help you make it happen. This game, I've paid people to make this game for me years ago, and I did it myself with a few hours of just talking to a computer. I didn't write not one line of code here. I just said, "Hey, can you make this happen?" Okay, that didn't really work. I like, can you change it to make it do this? That works. Okay, I like that. Can you make it do this? Can you make it do that? Just back and forth a lot of times. And if you see here, I'm even trying to keep track of my version numbers. So I'm about, I guess, 900. I don't know. I forget how this is tracked, but I'm tracking and I gotta update that because I don't think it's working. I think I broke it. But the overall idea is right now I'm gonna say rocket speed. So I've upgraded the rocket speed. So now whenever rockets are shot, the rocket speed is faster, and I can keep doing this. And once you get to level 10, a boss comes out. And that boss is it's a cool animation and everything that I've been working on as well. And then even these animations right here for Stack, these are all things I've built through AI. We write scripts, we do storyboards, we do the videos, and we do about a video every couple days like this. And these type of videos would have took thousands of dollars before, and this game would have took thousands of dollars before. But now, due to AI, all of this is shrinking in ease. So I wanted to show it, and if you're interested in playing it, go to bomb.game. I would love some feedback on it. It's a fun project I just do for fun. Eventually, my hope is to create a way for people who play it to make money and also invest. But one thing at a time, I just want to make it a fun game at first, and then we'll figure out from there. And that's why I put the advertisement, because if it does start getting some viewers and people playing it, maybe some of those people become Stack customers. And my goal is to really integrate it and have people buy in-game assets and buy things that make the gameplay better or whatever it is, but they will stack that purchase. So like, people pay for in-game items. Like my kids, they've spent thousands on Fortnite. If I could have had them stack that money because I didn't have this, they would have thousands of dollars of Bitcoin and Ethereum by now, but they just have skins that sit in a wallet that they don't even play anymore. They don't even play Fortnite anymore. So my hope is to create a system where people who buy in-game items can also invest. So I'm using my own game as the first test, and then if it works, I can offer this to other game companies. So that's another thing that I've been playing around with. Um and of course, any questions for anybody that watches this, anytime you watch it, put it in the comments, anything. Um, and the last thing I want to talk about is The next few years are going to be very interesting and it's going to be a very big opportunity if you take advantage of it. And what I would tell people is there's like three things to take advantage of and think through. The first thing is what I'm showing you here. This AI stuff is incredible, right? And the more you play around with it, the more income you can probably generate, right? But at the same time, it is very likely to start taking away income streams for people. So I think it's on everybody, anybody watching, but anybody in the world to start understanding investments because what's happening right now is the government is going to have to start printing up money. And what happens when governments print up money is asset values grow. So Bitcoin and Ethereum is one asset, real estate is another asset, stocks are another asset. So money right now that's going to be moved into the economy that's just printed up is going to go to people that want to buy services and spend that money. That money then goes to the business owners who have the businesses that people buy from. But those business owners recognize that that money is starting to be inflation because now there's so much more of it in circulation. Things are starting to cost more, but the value of dollars are going down. So those business owners buy assets and those assets go up in value. So while money printing is happening, you need to figure out how to buy as much assets as possible, whichever assets. It doesn't have to be Bitcoin and Ethereum. I just like that asset class because it's the easiest to buy and it's the fastest growing and it's programmable. So I get to do the stuff I do. But real estate is an amazing asset class, stocks. I just have my own reasons why those, and I've done all of them. I just like crypto for many reasons. And if you watch my channel or you know what I'm talking about, if you talk me, if you've heard me speak before, you know why I don't like all those other assets classes. I think crypto is the future, but I won't push that. And this is not financial advice, but there's going to be an opportunity no matter what asset class. So in the next 2, 3 years, we need to see the third thing, which may happen, is there's a lot of turmoil in this world, and there could be an event, either a war or just something happening in America. You know, there's already America's kind of like has like a civil war-ish vibe going. If something happens like that, then of course markets will crash. And if they do crash, one of the things I see is if you're in assets that the value goes down and you need that money, it's a bad time to need money when assets crash in value, right? So part of why we built Stack the way we built it is because when that time comes, if it does come, we're going to sell the assets that we have as well. We don't want to be stuck holding, let's say Bitcoin today is worth $200,000 and then in 2 months it's worth 40,000. You don't want to still be holding Bitcoin. You rather have that 200,000, right? Because if you got 200,000 because you're lucky enough to have one Bitcoin or whatever it is, if it's 1,000, if it's 10,000, and then the price falls 50, 60%, you don't want to be left holding the Bitcoin. You want to have that cash that you've possibly made by investing or that you just put in. Because another problem I see, and like I said in the beginning of this call, is most people deposit money when the prices are the highest. So more than likely, just off data, historical data, my company and historical data for all companies, most people jump into the market when the prices are the highest. This is because of the way the news system works. And you only really see people promoting Bitcoin and Ethereum when the prices are the highest. Days like today, you don't really see people promoting like, hey, Bitcoin's down 20%. It's a good time to buy. You don't really see that. And it creates FOMO just in the wrong direction. So one of the worries I have is everybody's going to jump in when the prices are the highest. The prices are going to fall on people. Then some type of catastrophe can happen. Plus, they may lose their job, and the prices of value of their assets are going down, and now they need money. And they're like, oh, I thought I invested because it was going to help me, and now I have less money than I had when I need it. And that's why I built the app the way I built it, which is protect the downside more than maximize for upside. And of course, there's ways that you can make more um, ability to take advantage of the upside, but that means that you're also more likely to lose money on the downside. So why I bring all this up is we're in a time where I want more and more people to just to figure out how they can dollar cost average. Not even you don't have to use my platform. You can use Coinbase and buy Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can dollar cost average into some real estate, stocks or REITs. You can dollar cost average into stocks. Um, but figure out your asset class now while you're still able to make a living in a way that you currently do, because more than likely your job will be affected by AI. So hopefully you get to keep that job. But while you have some type of income, you want to be figuring out what asset class you're going to buy during the ups and downs. Because once we come out of whatever this is, just like in 2008, if you would have been buying any asset class after 2008, right now you would be very well off. This one has more of a chance of being even a much bigger gain because we have so much happening with technology, AI, and assets like crypto being created. Crypto was actually created after 2008 happened because of all of that shenanigans the banks were doing. So now that we have all these things, we have AI, we have crypto, we have all the old world stuff. I think we have a huge opportunity to change our financial lives in the next 5, 10 years. Hopefully that by then it will be all figured out and everybody will still have ways of feeding themselves and their families going forward. It won't be a dystopia, it will be abundance. I just don't trust that based on historical historical history, I guess. I'm banking more on a dystopia just in case because I'd rather bank on the worst and the best happens than hope for the best and the worst happens. Right. So that's how I'm thinking about it. And I'm trying to get as much assets as possible. I try to bring as much money in, borrow to spend as possible. So if the market does explode, I'm as exposed as possible. If it goes down, I know my app is working. We actually survived the biggest crash in crypto history. Nobody was liquidated. So the system works. It was the fastest, biggest crash in history, and we ate it like a champion. So there's no problems. So now I feel even more passionate about pushing this message because if you would have bought Bitcoin and then had that fast flash crash, you could have even lost your whole portfolio or a large percentage of it. And our platform protected that net equity for our customers. So going forward, I think the best thing to do is invest with downside protection as much as possible. And if the upside happens, benefit from that, keep that money safe in a way that you, when you need it, you have ability to use it. So just to end it here, right after that crash, I had three customers reach out like, "Hey, I really need money." And I got on calls with them and I was like, "You realize if you wouldn't have been using our platform, you wouldn't have had this money because they wanted to borrow off of an asset that we protected the fall of. So when they needed that cash, it was available to them." And that's what we're building here. So, any questions from anybody on the call or anywhere else, reach out in the community or DM me in anywhere you know, or if you know me from real world, text me. But yeah, I think we're in an interesting time. Nobody knows what's gonna happen, but if you look throughout history, the best times to invest were when it was very uncertain. So it's up to each of us to do our own research and figure out what that means for us. What is the asset class we want to use? What do we feel is going to happen in the next 5, 10 years? And we are early to invest in it. So when it does come to fruition, we get to reap that reward. So for me, that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. I sold my real estate. I sold my stocks. Um, I think there's just more upside with Bitcoin and Ethereum with less downside because I could protect it. So and I'm gonna have a ball using AI. I'm gonna get good at AI. So if I need to get some type of career in AI, I'm skilled at it. So that's what I recommend for anybody here. Use your business as a way to build your AI skills. So for me, how I'm doing it is I know Stack needs marketing. So I use generative AI to create marketing. I know Stack needs software development. So I'm getting back into software development by vibe coding a game. But of course, I have a team of many people who already code, but I'm just getting myself up to speed. And I'm learning how to use AI to manage my business and my communications and to streamline my onboard process and my management of my team. So I'm just having fun learning this skill as well because that's another thing I like to do. I like to learn things in a fun way, not in a way that makes me not want to learn them. So I went to school for animation. I love animation. I love storytelling. So I'm having a ball playing with these AI generative tools. And I can afford to use them because the company needs them. So it's a tax write-off from the business, right? And I get to play around with these AI software vibe coding systems because my team uses them to build our app, right? So I can get in there and I'm learning how to use them as well, and then I could jump into that side of the business if I ever need to as well. And I recommend whatever your business is, do the same thing, figure out whatever that is for you. And if you need help, definitely ask in the community because I'm getting really deep into all of that, so I probably can give you some pointers. But yeah, if you're in the community, if there's anything I can do, reach out and I'll try to help you in any way I can. And thank you for watching whenever you've watched, and thank you for being part of the Stack community. And if you need anything, reach out. Have a good rest of your night.